makeup. I feel like doing that before we start because the lips need to look clean because they're about to say. Hello wonderful people, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I am Tola Mamos and you are welcome to this channel that does student life, fashion, hair care and talks. Talks is just basically a way of me saying commentary without saying commentary. So yeah, we're doing commentary today, people. Let's get right in. I would like to do before I move on and start criticizing, because yeah, it's basically me criticizing everything that's happened so far, is that please, this video is totally my own opinions. Because why I'm saying this is because people need to understand that I got human rights and I have the rights to my own opinions and the things that I do believe about what is happening in my own country. So it may be different from yours, honey, but you don't need to be mad, honey, because honey, it's my own opinion, it's my own school of thought, and I just want to share it on my channel. Thumbnail, by the description, you already know that I am here to talk about the lockdown and everything that has happened, what led us to this state, and while we're in this state, in for some people who are still in lockdown. I'm not really in lockdown anymore. The lockdown has been lifted of mind, like my own piece of what I think of everything that's been happening. The first thing I have an issue with, or something that I kind of do not really see as what was right during this lockdown, because I said I live in Asaba Delta State. If you don't know where Asaba Delta State is, it's actually a state in Nigeria. If you're watching like out of Nigeria, if you don't know where Nigeria is in Africa. And if you don't know where Africa is, check the map, please. Check the global map. So yeah, the first thing I do not really agree with is that there was a total lockdown. Like, yeah, we had to rush because of the pandemic. We're gonna like wait till like everybody died, like half of the people died before we go into quar. I'm not gonna say the full word, into quar. So yeah, and there was no real like provision for things for like people, because a lot of people, more than I think 90%, if not 98, I don't want to take it like too far, but more than 90% of Nigerians were actually affected, because many people do actually get paid off human activities, human movement, human, like everything human, like private workers, entrepreneurs and things like that. The essential workers that were told not to go to the job, it was actually from a certain level to a certain level, and I know this because I know this.
So there you go. I said what I said, and I meant what I said, because I said what I said.
A lot of people were like not being catered for on time with the lockdown. Like, honestly, people were home without, there were many people without food, without water, without, like, there was no real fast, quick way. Like, there was no this kind of like, okay, what about their food, how they're going to eat, how they're going to survive, and things like that. Later on, they were being provided for before somebody attacked me and be like, oh my goodness, I saw it to stay, they did this, they did that. Okay, did you check the span of when lockdown started and when the things were actually provided for? There was like weeks difference, and sorry to say, a lot of people were actually already being like giving up and getting themselves into other things. I'm not trying to hold the government accountable for someone's decisions to actually go into a wrong act, such as armed robbery or any form of stealing or any vice. Putting the blame on them. They have their own right to make their own decisions and face the consequences for it. But what I'm just trying to say here is that when there is quick action, there will be less kind of frustration breakouts. Why I'm actually like very focused on this particular point is because I saw a video about a man who was based in he's based in Abuja, taxi rider, who came out of frustration and stripped himself naked. Like, whoa, he dude went naked like in public, and all because why, his only source of income is actually being a taxi rider. And of course, there being a lockdown, no, there's nothing like any ways for him to feed his family, and he got arrested. I'm not trying to cite people who actually like do stuff like that. Yes, I do agree, he came out during a time when he wasn't asked to. It was like no coming out, no going anywhere and all that. He broke the law, then he stripped himself naked. Those were the two little things he did wrong. Okay, then what I have an issue with about his judgment, like so far so good as the information that I've gathered, was that he was actually sentenced to 6 months in prison and asked to pay a 30,000 naira fine. Okay, so you think that if he has that money he will actually like come outside? No, I'm not saying that people is when they to their capacity that you punish them. After a sentence is actually punishment. What I'm actually trying to say here is that you are adding to, like, what happened to temper justice with mercy? Like, just like apportion it with me, like just rub it a little bit of mercy here. There was, like, that guy wasn't like really considered. I'm not putting on I'm not totally on anyone's side. I'm not on his side, I'm not on the law side, but I'm just trying to be as objective as I can be and trying to explain that, yeah, that there is no way that somebody who actually has like something else, like, you should just consider his emotional state. You shouldn't consider his the level of frustration, the thing that must have moved him to do that. Don't just like be too quick to judge. I'm like, he broke the law. And most times I don't want to like I said, these are my own opinions, but I feel like most times the law is way more harsh on others than it is, like, it's harsh on some certain kind of people than it is harsh on some other kind of people, some other class of people. Like, there's just different judgments and stuff. The second thing that I have an issue with during this lockdown series, this Qua series, I really did have an issue with when the stuff, like, when the things that the government actually brought for people to like say, oh yeah, take this, help yourself out, take this food stuff and this. I had an issue with what went on. It wasn't nice. People were not being human beings to another human being. And what do I basically mean by that? I mean that like, people were just being so mean, in the sense that it was when government started saying, take a bag of rice, take bags of rice and share to the people in that community, in that street, in that area. That's when people started realizing that, oh my goodness, my neighbor is not an indigenous of this place. Excuse me, what?
Hey, Jesus Christ. Please, please, I don't understand what's going on because there's something you
In some places I did hear reports of like people being being stopped, being not given what they ought to be given, or because why they are not indigenous. Okay, if you want to do it in that style, these people can actually move to where they are from, because why? There is a freaking lockdown. Please, YouTube, don't get me for that, like, don't hurt me for that, but there's a lockdown and they can't go to their homes, they can't go to their places. So why would you like now be like, you're not from here, therefore you're not getting it? And you know the most annoying aspect of it all? Do you know what they were actually sharing? You know what these people are using to do to make shakara? 1 cup of rice. Like, 1 cup of rice. That's what they were using to just show wickedness to their fellow humans. I'm not trying to say that, okay, that but when the government was placing it, why weren't you like, oh, for the indigenous, all the indigenous, come out, let's count your number? You counted the non-indigenous as well, so why are you not removing them from the sharing ratio? Excuse me. Be a human being to a human being. It just felt like, first of all, there are speculations that this stuff actually happening, that there are really many speculations that we should all run back to God and that will just be a way to solve it. Then you're not adding, oh, you're trying to bring another, would I say, I don't know, you're just creating some other turmoil and confusion as a way to
it's gonna be depression, turmoil, confusion.
yes. Then the third thing I had issues with was it was security, not for where I am or totally Asaba, but for some areas, that because I've been like, I follow up on Instagram a lot, and I just recently got back to Twitter, which is like the same name as this channel, Talamams as well. And the next thing that I was hearing was that that some areas, they were just getting robbed back to back, back to back, back to back. And that's why my first point is actually very, very valid. When people don't get very, very much provided for, there is no way they can actually make ends meet to feed themselves daily. They actually thought of a way that, okay, maybe robbery is the next thing to do to actually to survive. And yeah, people were getting robbed back to back, broad daylight on their streets and places, all because why there was no people. Okay, so now I've actually said that lockdown has been lifted. So that's when let's put all the things that happened, let's tell them bye bye. So since May 1st in Asaba Delta State, we have been free, being like going, we have been allowed to go to places, but there have been some kind of restrictions here, restrictions there. And one of the restrictions is that we have to always put on a face mask. I had to learn this the hard way. And if you haven't like gotten your face mask, or you don't want to like buy, you want to like kind of like DIY it, I have a video, I will link it up here, and you can watch that video and learn how to make your own face mask.
Hey, take a breather.
So guys, I had to learn this the hard way, like I said, when I was going to the supermarket to actually get some stuff. I actually thought that my face mask was in my bag because I don't like using it when I'm in the car. In the car with my mom. So I didn't use it that day in the car. So I actually just went ahead and I thought it was in her bag. Only for me to like find out, oh, I already got to the supermarket that there was no face mask. And I had to go back home again to get my face mask so I could get into the supermarket. So yeah guys, face mask is very, very important. Get one that is, if you don't want to like DIY like I've suggested, but I would prefer you DIY. If you don't want to DIY, you could basically just like buy one, and it's not going to cost you anything more than 300, hopefully. So do according to what the government says. And anyway they tell you to actually like sanitize your hands before you go in, please do sanitize. I know a lot of people are not really like open to washing their hands. Yeah, or not, some people may not be open, but if you have a hand sanitizer, maybe a little one, you could just like walk around with it and just use it. And yeah, those are basically the head tips and all. One issue I do have, because I said this is like me having issues with things that have happened, issue I do have with this lockdown being lifted is that they said our markets are open, but our churches are not open, like legally opened. So why do I have an issue with this? Is because Nigeria, Nigeria, I can't really like speak for all of Africa, but Nigeria that I know of, that I live in as a Nigerian from Nigeria, living in Nigeria, we operate a open market system. And what does that mean? That means everywhere is like basbos. That means like everywhere that there is no really like, this is a section, this is this is that. Like our market is basically composed of umbrellas and tables. That's what we basically use, and everyone is kind of interacting. You can't really practice social, you cannot practice social distancing in a Nigerian market, except they will start seeing 50 people at once. But once everybody just in there, no social distancing for nobody. So why would you like, I'm not against anyone's like the markets being open. I love the fact that the market was open. Actually, I did go to Ogbogonogo market. I write it down. Ogbogonogo market. The first day it was opened, like I just ran to the market because I had to get a lot of things. But being that it's an open market system, that's where people really can really like, if the virus is with someone, people can actually really get it. Like they can capture the virus, other than when they are in an environment whereby they don't really interact with people. Like in church, you can just like simply put the law and say each church member should sit 2 spaces, 2 seats should be left. Like they should just be like, me 2 seats, another person, me 2 seats, another person. Like it could just be as easy as that. It's very easy to practice social distancing in church than to actually practice social distancing in some other places that have actually been allowed, and it's legal now for us to like go out. So I know government is trying their best. Like there must be like a parent that has an issue with their child and they're just like, oh, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? But hold on. In the bid of you trying to get everything together, please also try and make sure that the churches get open too. Okay, I know you're doing your best, honeys. You're doing great. You're doing lovely. Mwah. Another issue that I have, but I'm not breaking the law. I'm I'm gonna wear my lips. I like freshening up. So another issue I do have is the curfew that was placed. Like, we actually have a curfew right now. It's for, as a child that lives, as a Nigerian child that lives with her parents, I don't really have an issue with this because my parents actually give me curfew, but it's very strange to see that my parents have curfew too. It's nice. So yeah, we actually have a curfew right here, and it's 8 o'clock. You're not allowed to leave your home from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. from 9 till morning. And it just makes a lot of us to like wonder, like, what's the reason? I'm not like challenging the law and saying, oh, I won't do it. I've never been caught outside 7, let alone 8. But I would just like someone to like kind of like explain, like, why, what is the reason for us running into our homes before or on 8 o'clock. Is Rona gonna come outside? Is Auntie Rona gonna be outside by the time? Like, is she stepping out? Is she taking a walk? Is she going somewhere? Or is it our office hour? I don't know, but I would love if someone in high authority, like the person that actually placed that law, just like tell me and be like, hey girl, this is why we did it. And yeah, so far so good. We some, not all places in like Nigeria have been lifted. Like places like the only place I'm going to mention is the place that I'm 100% sure of, and that is Port Harcourt. That place, yeah, so that place is still on lockdown, and yeah, a lot of people are just getting depressed about it, and so they're just being still stuck at home. But please have the mindset that it's all for our own good. Like, it won't be great if anyone has the virus. If you mistakenly or carelessly or anywayly catch that virus, you ain't gonna see your fam again. Like, there'll be nothing like visiting hours. You can't be able to see your family, and you won't even be in the right state of mind to even be thinking about a bright shining day. Like, it's just going to hurt everybody. So yeah, this is just my own, would I say, unpopular opinion. I think we'll stick with that. I think that's what I put in the title or something like that. Yeah, my own unpopular opinion about the lockdown so far, and I would like to see you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Comment down section below your lockdown experience, your choir experience, your lockdown being lifted experience, and just tell me what you think. And I know I look fly, I look fine, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And before that, please, you know that share button that's like flying like this, please just like from there, just share to anyone on your contact, maybe through WhatsApp, Facebook, anywhere at all. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So bye people.